The Chief of Army Staff, Tuku Burate, has cautioned troops against the use of the social media. He says that they should not allow it to jeopardize their fight against Boko Haram and other criminal elements threatening the peace and security of the nation. Preventive terrorism expert Temitope Olodo joins me now via Skype from London. Thank you, Temitope, for joining us. Now, what do you make of the statement by the Chief of Army Staff? He's saying that they should refrain from what he termed inappropriate use of the social media. Now, as a security expert, what would you term as inappropriate?
I think, of course, it is inappropriate for soldiers in the war front who are fighting terrorism to convey information or reveal, their locations, because that, of course, is not good from an operational perspective. And I support the Chief of Army Staff on that aspect in terms of the use of media. But again, these individuals should know that it's part of their training should be how to camouflage themselves and absorb themselves within the population where they are working if they are not actually in the war front fighting with enemy combatants. But that said, I think he who comes to equity must come to equity with clean hands. And from your news report today, for what is happening, I think the Nigerian Army itself needs to watch his house first, clean his house first before educating the soldiers, because they themselves are not good in terms of their communication with the public. And if the soldiers are the only point of contact for the public to know what is happening in the war front, then that is what is going to be happening, because these individuals are sending information to their loved ones and friends via social media to let them know their condition in terms of how they are being fed and in terms of equipment that is being given to them. So the social media have been a kind of a two-edged sword. One is being positive in the sense that it's being used as a means through which soldiers have been able to voice their concern about their equipment and their feeding, while on the other hand, it's not also good from a security perspective if we really want to fight the war against terrorism.
Then beyond the social media, what other ways could these security operatives jeopardize their efforts so far?
I think for anybody working in the enforcement environment, one of the things you don't do is reveal your location. And I think one of the areas that the Nigerian military has failed is that they've not upgraded themselves to the 21st century. I've worked within the security enforcement, at least 2 police formations in the UK, and I understand how the military work. A part of your training involve, what kind of information you could release and the kind of information you could even give to your family members about what you're doing. So that is part of their training. Now, if these individuals are not doing that, it shows that their training is not up to standard. But it's not only that. Even the Nigerian military recent recruitment is for caterers and things like that. I didn't see any recruitment for IT specialists. I didn't see any recruitment, in terms of proper intelligence individuals, or even taking from the diaspora, people that have those expertise. So Nigerian military, from that perspective, is still operating in the 19th century. And that's the reason why they are not flexible enough to deal with the issue of Boko Haram, and their technical defeat of Boko Haram seems to be slapping them on the face at every turn, because they are not doing the needful and looking at benchmark of things that are being done around the world, which are best practice that they could localize to fight this demonic group of twisted individuals that are actually affecting the peace and security of Nigeria.
And as a security expert, from what you have said, you're saying that it seems that their security training might not have been updated. So perhaps you might want to reel out some areas that they should be trained on.
I think there's a lot of areas that they need to be trained on. One of the areas that most of us have been talking about is the issue of human relations and human rights, because every soldier should know how to, the rules of engagement properly at their level. Because you see, one of the challenges and mistakes that the Nigerian military seems to be making is that there's a big difference between officers and soldiers. So soldiers are the ones at the forefront. Every department within the military formation need to be taught human rights from their own perspective. So, and that's one area that I think they need to work on. Then the other area they need to work on is the IT aspect. They need to, kind of educate them about technology and the use of technology in their engagement with the public and in their personal use. That's an area they need to work on. Their customer service is an area they need to really work on, because we want Nigeria Army to be fit for purpose. We want the people to love them. We want the situation where when you get on the plane in the United States and a military soldier gets in, people clap for them. People stand in ovation for them because they respect them. We want the same with our Nigerian military. We want to be able to respect them. We want to see them, not to fear them, but to love them for the work that they are doing and the ultimate sacrifice they are making for us. So there's a lot of areas that they could work on, and that the only way to do that is to do a diagnostic of what they have now, to look at and compare it with other military formations around the world. And we're not saying they need to spend billions of pounds on it. There are different organizations that will be more than happy, even within Nigeria, to come and train them for free and to equip them for the fight ahead.
All right, preventive terrorism expert Temitope Olodo, thank you so much for your time on the news.
Thank you for having me.